Good evening, Sharks fans! Welcome to only 41 days till hockey season starts. Oh, we're so close. So close. But in that time, we'll keep you updated with everything going on, with lovely analysis from anybody and everybody that we can get our hold of. Welcome to this edition of Pucknology After Dark. I am Eric Curra, PuckGuy14 on Twitter, along with AJ Strong, Eric Landy. Gentry Alexander has made his way back home. He'll join us in a second. If you want to be a part of the show, because we love interaction, because no radio station is going to talk to us, use the hashtag PucknologyAfterDark. You can tweet any of us at PuckGuy14, at AJ Strong, at Pucknology. All right, that's out of the way. By all means, tweet one of us. Tweet the hashtag. Use any form of media. We will get to you. So hello to everybody out there watching us tonight. Guys, good evening to you. Hope all is well.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello!
Hello!
Yeah, it's still the dog days, but at least we got some things to talk about, right?
Right.
We in fact do. Tonight's cast brought to you by Triple Carmeliet, an impudent little Belgian ale.
That's the drink du jour.
That is the drink. That is the beer du jour.
Close
That is the drink de beer.
Drink the beer. So basically, as I'm tweeting out the link for everybody else.
Let
Go
me
ahead,
ask
AJ.
a quick question though. Let me ask Eric. Let me ask Landy. Let me ask Landy. When you're watching Eric, is Eric on a delay? Because he's on a delay with me right now.
No, he seems pretty good to me.
Well then, go ahead, say
That's not
something.
good.
Eric. Let's see. If
That's not good at all. Not good at all. I'm Troy Clarity.
Yeah, I'm getting your audio, and then about a second later, I actually see your mouth move. So I'm gonna jump off, jump back on, see if that helps.
All right, no problem. We'll fill and Phil while he's figuring that out. So Eric, good evening to you. You're not in the airport like last time.
Oh, jeez, no, I am not. That was not a good way to do a podcast, so I apologize.
Gotcha. And just like that, we got two guys back. We lose one, we get two back up.
Much better.
So joining us, let's add him on. Gentry, Mr. Alexander, my fellow Match Pro. How are you guys?
Doing good. Just dealing with Northern California traffic, which is god awful.
I would assume it's something a little bit like Southern California traffic. All California traffic is horrible.
Yes. Your tax dollars at work, constantly fixing the freeways and not getting any closer to having them anywhere near done.
Go Caltrans!
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. All right. So we got a few things to talk about tonight, as we are again 41 days away from dropping the puck on the 2015-16 25th anniversary season. I think we got a lot of things to be excited about, a lot of things to be concerned about, a lot of things to criticize, and a lot to go from there. Well, first things first, we'll talk about one of the noticeable ones that we will have in quite some time. It's Farewell to this song right here. In case you missed it, the idiot who originally composed the song has decided to do some not so good things to youngsters and is currently put away in prison. Therefore, the organization has decided to go away from the song from 22 years of use in like 3 or 4 variations. Um, there was an email sent out to season ticket holders on 5 options that the team is considering. We have a Green Day Holiday, kind of a revised version of what the team used a few years ago, along with Nickelback, Burn It to the Ground, which I'm sure is bound to get so many votes. I'll throw in Muse Uprising, an intro from the WWE for Adam Rose, and another song that isn't coming into...
Electric Worry by Clutch.
Thank you. Which says Vamonos, Vamonos. So we have 5 options that the team has put out, along with AJ also, submitted an option to them of Let's Go by 6 a.m. So, guys, new goal song. Your thoughts?
Well, I'll jump in. I kind of put together like a quick pros and cons about each one. I just put we can cover the first one. Holiday from Green Day. For me, the only pro I can think of is it's a local band, which apparently...
Yeah!
You okay there, dude? Well, apparently Landy is really into local bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
I had my
If that didn't wake you up, I don't know what would.
Man, I really like Green Day!
Green Day! Apparently my mute switch doesn't work.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, AJ, go on.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Green Day is a local band, and I know from what I was told on Monday that does carry a little bit of weight to the selection process. But for me, the song itself, I don't think it's that great of a song. I think for what they want to use it for goal capacity, I think it's too fast. I think the hey part isn't that great. What does Holiday really have to do with sports if you want to like try to finagle the title in there at all? Not that you'd have to. But I think the big thing is the fans have already rejected this song once, which makes me wonder why they're putting it in again. Gentry? Oh dear God. Okay, whoever doesn't have food in their mouth, go ahead.
Sorry, I was having a Burnsy moment eating pizza. Sorry,
There you
I haven't
go.
eaten all day.
So you got one of us
Staggering
being
production
too
value
loud.
there.
Honestly,
Being too loud and one not.
Honestly,
Gentry.
of all the songs, I like Muse the Uprising the best because it's not as annoying as the other ones that are on the list because I really don't want Nickelback. I don't want to celebrate Nickelback. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Green Day is, yeah, we already rejected it once. Muse's Uprising, it's good, but it's not celebratory enough.
Hold on, we're taking the songs one by one. Right now, we're just talking about Holiday. Green Day.
Oh, Holiday?
Well, Holiday, not my favorite, but I can see why. Yeah, it's a local band. I'd go with that. I wouldn't go with that one, though, personally. It's too quick.
All right, Landy?
I mean, I guess I feel like we've done this once before. It's kind of a meh song. I mean, it's just, I don't know, just kind of bland. You know, that's what the choice is, bland.
Yeah, and Kira, didn't you already bring this up when you guessed it on Teal Tinted Podcast? Didn't you bring this up like Holiday had something to do with the stanchion goal?
Yeah, unfortunately, after the Sharks dropped it that one year in 06-07, a couple years later, the Vancouver Canucks used a different cut off of Holiday, and it was subsequently used when Kevin Bieksa scored the stanchion goal to eliminate us from playoff contention in 2011.
Dark days.
Dark days.
Yeah, well, not only that, but Vancouver, haven't they changed their goal song like, I don't know, once every 2 years?
Well, yeah, but that's Vancouver. I mean, let's not get into the whole fair weather Vancouver thing. The second selection is Electric Worry from Clutch. If you don't know that track, what is it? It's the something Vamonos, Vamonos. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like, okay, a decent song. It's got good energy, but there's no hey. I mean, not that there has to be, but there's no kind of, I don't know. Are the fans supposed to chant bang 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 bang? Are they supposed to chant Vamonos? It's like there's almost too many lyrics for my taste. What do you think, Landy?
Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's. I guess the whole reason why the Gary Glitter song is so good is because we're kind of all trained to know when to go, hey, hey, and it's, communal. Whereas these other songs, there's only one song that I think you could pull that off of, but I'll wait for you to continue on.
All right, Kira, what do you think about the Electric Worry?
I just it brings in the emotion, but I just wasn't feeling it because like you said, am I supposed to say bang bang or vominos vominos? So it's just it's a little weird. Good tempo, but I'm just not sure.
Gentry?
It's the one song I really didn't listen to when they were giving us the options because I was like, I've never heard this song. There's no point in it, so move along.
All right. Well, that brings us into everybody's wow. Chester Chivo getting started early with the Photoshop. I like it.
Oh no.
Nice.
And Ian Reed from Teal Tinted Podcast. I'm going to get that right at some point. But he just tweeted in and said, "Electric Worry is fucking terrible," and I do have to. As a song, I don't think it's terrible. As a goal song, yeah, I would agree. I'm not a fan. That brings us into the third selection, of course, which seems to be the overwhelming favorite. Nickelback's "Burn It to the Ground." Now, I don't understand all the Nickelback hate. Are they a fantastic band? No, but I don't think they're as bad as everybody makes them out to be. Some people I hear say, oh, they're like, every one of their songs sounds the same. And, well, a lot of people said the same shit about Creed, and they were just a ripoff of Pearl Jam or whatever. You know what? They're selling tickets, and they're trying to do what they can to keep rock alive, so I can at least get behind that. But for the track, Burn It to the Ground, for me, the pros of it, it's the right tempo. It's rock and roll part 2 is about 134, 135 beats per minute, which seems to be the sweet spot for the tempo for this. That's about the same tempo. It has decent, the hey part, so you have some audience participation. It's a well-known band. And then the con, of course, being it's Nickelback. and once again, I go back to the kind of, does it have anything to do with sports at all, which, I mean, Burn It to the Ground. Okay. What do you say, Eric Cura?
You know what? It'd be a perfect song for the Stockton Heat, personally.
Oh, there you go. That's a good. That's good
just a thought there for the Flames' new affiliate. I'll be honest. If it wasn't that it was actually Nickelback, it would probably work. But because it's Nickelback, we can't do it.
So let's have another band recorded.
Right. Let's put it this way. You might as well have Justin Bieber do your goal song if you want to have Nickelback do it.
And
Just
I was
say.
like, baby, baby, hey! It would work.
No.
Yeah. We were the most hated team in the NHL, and I love it. Because we already are. Just look at all the calls that are called against us and all the goals that are disallowed.
Damn it, Wingles.
No, that'd be funny. It's like we disallow this goal for the simple fact that we don't want to hear Bieber.
Right.
Well, no, but wait a minute. Don't they disallow the goal after the song's been played?
No, that's
No, they
true.
would cut it off immediately. They just like, nope, 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 no goal, no goal.
He'd stop in the middle of Baby, and it'd just be
Yeah.
like, what are we supposed to do now?
Nope.
Anyways, we're not talking about Bieber. Let's get back to Nickelback. Landy, your thoughts?
I mean, it's like teenage pop rock. I just can't take it seriously. It's just complete garbage. It really is. I mean, I can maybe take out 1 to 2 songs out of their entire song library I can stand, and that's not one of them.
All right. Well, then we'll get into the 4th selection. Breakaway, CFOS. This is a track that I was unfamiliar with. I guess this has something to do with the WWE or something. It's some intro song that somebody uses. All I know is that, to me, anything that is coincided with the WWE should never have been a part of this. It's like, no. WWE is fake BS bullshit. That's entertainment. That's not sports.
Well, isn't that what the NHL is going to be turning into once we put ads on jerseys?
Hey, we're getting to that. Don't skip ahead, goddammit. But we got, for me, the Pro.
And Chester Chivo just keeps on coming, man. Did you see his latest creation? John Totora being held up by Nickelback's lead singer.
Look at this photograph.
Dude,
I gotta get that on here. Hang on.
Dude, that's. Thank you, Chester. That's my new fucking cover photo, bro.
Sir, I tip my hat to you.
Dude, that is my fucking new cover photo. That is awesome. As Ian Reed says, theory of a nickel creed. I like that.
I love it.
Like, getting back to the CFOS breakaway, the Pro, I guess, it has a lot of vocals. The Con, it has a lot of vocal. That's all I can say about it. Anybody? Somebody jump in.
Go ahead.
Like I said, I didn't listen to that one either, because I'm pretty sure I did, but I was just like, oh, this sounds generic and stupid and whatever. It's not celebratory enough. Go move along.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't a familiar song, but I mean, it could have something to it. Although I am still bitter for Vince McMahon firing me from the XFL, so no. Landy.
Let it go, Eric. Let it go. Hey, there's a gold song idea.
No.
Let's stay relevant, guys. Let it go.
You know what? I mean, again, I think just kind of echoing what everybody else says, it just lacks. Okay, so for me, the most feared, most hated is got to be Chelsea Dagger, right? That still strikes so many memories, so many issues.
Why did you bring up Chelsea Dagger? Why
so
you do this?
Yeah. So what I'm getting to is that song is perfect for the Blackhawks, perfect for their song. And when you're looking for a song, you're trying to look for something that strikes up emotion, something that is easy to cheer on, and something that just gets in the other team's head. And so far, none of these songs have done any of that. I just, like I said, the one song that AJ is going to come up to next is the closest thing, but still, it just lacks bite, and we're the Sharks. We're supposed to strike fear. It's the Shark Tank, for Christ's sake, It's supposed to be a horrible place to play. And with these songs, I feel like, oh, okay, just whatever, it's whatever.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Although I am having a hard time watching you talk, and I'm seeing your lips move, and I'm waiting to hear, yeah, Alpha 9 or 5 climbed to 2,200 feet. But anyway.
Your landing gear is down.
So, did everybody got their 2 cents in on Breakaway? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the final selection that the Sharks made available to us was Uprising from Muse. And for me, I'm not a huge Muse fan. I like some of their stuff. I have to admit I'm not familiar with the vast majority of their catalog, but most of the stuff that I have heard, I've liked. I don't love it, but I like it. Uprising for me, though, I think it's a good song on its own. Once again, it's that thing of it's a good song on its own, but trying to use pieces of it for a goal song, how does that work? And honestly, if you think about it in context, and if you watch that video, for me, the song just kind of drags and it lacks energy for the moment that you're using it for. Like I said, great song, but not a great goal song. Sure.
I think it would be a great goal song if the tempo was up a little bit more. I think if it was sped up a little bit faster, I think it would work perfectly. I just kind of wish that we were able to do that, but it is what it is. So we go on from there. Gentry.
Out of all the ones, that was my favorite because I actually do like the song and I do like the Muse and I do like Muse. It's just like it's been used before by another team. I can't remember which team, and also but it doesn't have that celebratory thing to it because when the Sharks score, we should be celebrating. That one, it just seems, but it's like it does have that right kind of it does have the right amount of participation to it. But
see, I think the Haze though are almost too muted.
Yeah, but that's where the crowd's gonna come in and accentuate it, and I think that's what they're going for.
So I went to a Muse concert, probably about 2 years ago, and they had that song up, and we heard everybody in the entire crowd singing "We Will Be Victorious," and if they were to chop it up around that, and for people to scream that and get into it that way. I think that would be a really cool experience and a really cool piece of the song. And I didn't see how exactly they chopped it up, but that's where I would kind of form the goal song around that.
I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. They would need to have two variations of it because if we're down 5-0 in the third period, and it would be kind of weird for us to start screaming, "We will be
victorious."
But I do like that idea. Maybe, hang on. Once the game is over, because you know how we usually have the longer version of the Hey song, that's where we would put that in.
Oh, that's that might be a good compromise on it. That's an interesting
I do like
idea.
that.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Will the Sharks do it? Probably not, because they have their finger so far from the fucking pulse. It's it's ridiculous.
Oh no, I'm betting it's gonna be Nickelback. I'm just waiting for it.
Go other team. Shutouts all the time.
Oh, God.
I feel though like the Sharks they're trying at least. I mean, look at it this way, and I know like I'm usually like not captain optimistic, but at least they didn't just open the 25th season and once they score that first goal, all of a sudden you hear one of these tracks when you're expecting.
Yeah.
So at least they've put it out to a vote. At least obviously the vast majority of fans might not be aware of this because they didn't get the email, and from what I understand, I believe it just went to season ticket holders, and then there's obviously that there's season ticket holders that either shared the URL on Twitter or on other forms of social media, so other people picked up on it, as did I. That's one of the reasons why, and what fucking segue king right here. That's one of the reasons why I put one together. And sent it in.
Do you have it queued up?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Hold on, we should do a PSA for all of our listeners who are unaware. Hi, this is Pucknology After Dark. We just wanted to let you know that the Sharks are changing their goal song. It's no longer going to be Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll Part 2. So please don't instinctively start the whole clapping and doing your normal things, because things are going to change, just like the organization at Bound. So please.
Well, but the one thing we still want you to do, we still want you to say "hey" at the right time. And in case you don't know what that sounds like, we have this clip of Eric Landy who thought his microphone was off.
Can we just use that? Just send him that clip.
So anyway,
all right.
my submission
Yep.
for the new Ghost song is a track called "Let's Go." Now, hello, right there with the title, it's already like, okay, yeah, let's go. All right, I like it. The band is called 6 a.m. For those of you who aren't aware, it's a group. That started as a side project by Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. It includes DJ Ashba, mostly known from Guns N' Roses, and then James Michael, who's actually mostly known as a producer and kind of a studio guy. But I submitted that, and the pros for me on this is that Sixx, for those of you who don't know, Nikki Sixx was actually born in San Jose. The track has a good tempo and good energy. It's almost the exact same tempo as Rock and Roll Part 2. Another thing I think that is kind of cool is no one else is using it. Some of the songs that we've already talked about, other people, other teams, they're already using those songs in some sort of capacity. At least with this one, no one's using it. And I guess that's the only con I can think of, is that it is kind of an unknown song. But I don't know. I know Eric's heard it. I don't know if Landy or Gentry's heard it, but Eric, go ahead. What do you think?
Yep, I'll guys go ahead and mute yourselves. I'll get the song going. Here we go. And basically that's...
I like it. And I also edited it that it takes up just about the exact same amount of time that Rock and Roll Part 2 did, give or take like 1 or 2 seconds.
Right. And you added in another horn, which is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully for that. So Gentry will ask you about this option.
About that song, I thought that was great. I thought it was, I could see myself getting stoked for when they score and you're doing the hey, like honestly, I thought that was a good choice. Like I had my dream choices, but like if that sounds just about the right amount of like awesomeness, that I could see the Sharks, because that would get the crowd going. That's more celebratory than the other songs that have been currently on there, and yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Landy.
No, definitely. I think it scores top marks on inclusiveness and just like camaraderie for a gold chant, because it's like, it's really, really simple. Everybody gets it. It's got the energy. It's got that kind of electric feel to it. So, I think honestly it was better than any other submissions that the Sharks put together.
Well, then again, the Sharks are so far. We got to wait 5 years for the Sharks to get relevant music, because don't you realize? I mean, it took them 5 years to play like a G6. So come on. Still not better.
You're still, I know, and you should have seen the day that happened at the game me and Gentry were at, and he was ecstatic.
They played Lana Del Rey right as it came out. My girlfriend was shocked.
Summertime Sadness is one of the warm-up songs. Just getting a message from Chris JWS, just as a side mark. My power's been out for hours now. I'm not going to make it.
Okay, fine.
All right, fine. To just kind of finish this up, because obviously AJ I know likes it. That's an awesome song. I really like it. I'm glad and we're going to get into AJ's song Celebrity Status in a moment here.
Did we want to go over our fantasy picks or anything like that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Landy, was there? I have it ready to go, Gentry. Don't worry. Landy,
we'll get through this, and then I've got a few more things to wrap this up.
Okay. Landy, if there was one song, because I gotta cue this up here. If there was one song that you think would be absolutely mind-blowingly perfect for for the goal song for your San Jose Sharks.
Better not fucking be the Macarena, bro. I'm serious.
What would it be? We'll start with you, Landy.
Gotta be Metallica, gotta be Enter Sandman. You know, it's like there's a few different parts that you can go through and chop up that might be good. Local band, and we already have Metallica roots. You know, beginning of the song, you know, or beginning of the game, we go out to seek and destroy.
AJ, I know that's kind of a perfect one for you, but
my thoughts on that song, or
no, your dream goal song. I mean, like I said, Gary Glitter.
To be honest, my dream goal song. You know what it was? I was in Tahoe over this last weekend. You know, I went over there a Thursday morning, and I believe it was sometime on Thursday. I got the note or the tweet, whatever it was, that said the Sharks are changing their goal song, and you know, and after kind of you know, throwing the TV out the window, you know, I got over it, and it started just kind of going through my head, where I'm just like, you know, what would be a good selection? What would it be? And for some reason, all of a sudden, I started hearing this, hey, like I knew this song from, you know, I knew the 6 a.m. track, and what's funny is I couldn't place it at the time. And what I initially thought it was a track called Mas Tequila from Sammy Hagar. It's a similar sounding where it has some haze in there, and what's really funny is that was the original song that I thought was in my head, just because if you listen to Sammy Hagar's Mas Tequila, even if you look it up on do a Google search about it, what's funny is Sammy Hagar wrote that as a specific ripoff to Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll. You listen, it has the same kind of, it has that same drum roll pattern, it has similar chord changes, it has some parts where it goes, hey, and that was the first song that popped into my head, and I started listening to it on the way home, and I went, no, this isn't exactly what I was thinking of, but I think I could maybe loop this and make it work. And then that's when 6 a.m. popped into my head, and I finally figured it out. But yeah, no. So to take 90 seconds to say what I should have been able to say in 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Let's Go is my song.
You going long? Never.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get. I get a good joke for that later. We'll get into it later.
Yes. No. You know, there was one time, me and Gentry, when Gentry was working on his Xbox, and when you were able to customize goal songs for your EASHL. For those not connected to the NHL EA Sports Series, that's where you can create your own team with your custom uniforms, logos, and goal songs. We came up, and out of nowhere, because, you know, when you work 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. in produce, you need to keep the high tempo music going. And for our EDM followers,
oh shit,
I know, yeah. That's why I said. That's why I built it up for a warning.
Let me just guess. This song goes.
A little bit. But it actually, you know what? Considering, you know, it's rock and such, it's not bad. Steve Angelo with Yeah.
I have to admit, I would choose that over the 5 options that the Sharks have put out to the fan base. The only thing that makes me I'd want to hear that not over this connection and hear it live, because hearing it over this connection it made it sound like that was being played out of an Xbox.
You know, it actually, I would have to think that it would sound a lot better I think it would. I personally think it would work well. Kind of go outside the bun, outside the bun.
It just
But
sounds
yeah,
it sounds dated. That's all.
Well, here's the thing:
well,
is that
it's
it came
perfect
out.
then.
It's perfect for the Sharks. That's what I've been saying. Is that I was using that song in 2010 to 2014
11.
when, yeah, well, the last, what was it?
Oh,
2013 was the last time for the Outlaws.
yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I'm a three-time EA Cup champion, defending in the best player of all the NHL games in North America. Come see me. Um, and that was my goal song for my team, the San Francisco Outlaws. So I have a soft spot for that one. I love it, and that was the honestly when I heard it, and I was like, oh, I'm stealing that because I was originally Eric was going to use it for his San Francisco Teals or San Jose Teals, whatever he had it, because it was the Seals, but everything on his jersey was teal, so I just called them the Teals.
Well, Landy,
Nice.
what did you think of that track?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I think it was very similar in structure to your track that you put together. It was kind of that synthesizer-like tune that we've got right now, so it would be an easier transition. But yeah, I think it was good.
See, if the Sharks are definitely, which clearly they are going to crap, throw Rock and Roll 2 part 2 down the crapper, which we all understand why. I think we all would have preferred if they could have waited one more season, let the 25th be all historic,
Exactly.
just wait one more season. But I wouldn't hold it against the Sharks if they were to replace it with a chopped up version of Two Unlimited's Get Ready for This, since they used to come out to that. And it has those da 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 hey da da da, so you could use that. Yeah, so and at least you're still getting rid of Rock and Roll Part 2, but you're still kind of making that nod to the past and what the last 25 years have been. So I think at the very least I could see that being chopped up, but and once again, I would still take that over the 5 selections that they offered. That being said, I want to just get into a couple things. First off, when you were with, oh man, and he sent it to me, he's going to be pissed off if I say this wrong. Teal Tinted Glasses, that podcast. When you were on with them, they had actually put together a page. They put the selections, the 5 videos that the Sharks did, plus my video, plus a submission from Teal City Crew, who submitted kind of a hybrid of Seven Nation Army. Now, Seven Nation Army, you know what? I think that might be a decent selection, but once again, I think it's that same thing of how many different teams use that in how many different sports. I mean, you can turn on football on a Saturday, and half the colleges are already using that for whenever they score or to get the crowd up. So that's my only thing about that. To get in real quick to when I was at the tank on Monday, I actually spoke with Steve Maroney, and for those of you who don't know, he's kind of the in-game event operations dude. And anyway, when I spoke to him, he said he liked the submission that I put in, and they also had another one, I guess, that somebody else had turned in. And one of the things that he did like about the submission is Nikki Sixx was born here, so it's a local artist. And from what he told me, now I can't say this is set in stone, but man, am I really bordering on like Doug Wilson tan here right now? My camera's all over.
No, you don't have the Fountain of Youth added
I gotta
effect
turn this
to
off.
it.
I think I gotta put like a piece of paper in front of it and diffuse it. So anyway, when I was talking with Steve, he said that they plan to take the top 2 or 3 vote getters from the 5 songs that they sent out. Now, it's a case of for the sake of argument, for shits and giggles, let's say that that Green Day got got, I don't know, 20,000 votes, and Uprising got 19,000 votes. and then Clutch, Nickelback, and CFOS all got like 3,000, 4,000 votes apiece. If it's that, they're talking about taking the two big ones and then sending a new vote out with the fan submissions, whether it's Let's Go, whether it's the Teal City Cruise submission, who knows, but they plan on doing a second round of voting, and then obviously it's a case of if Green Day, Clutch, and Nickelback got around the similar amount of votes and then the other two were really low, then they put out those three with a couple more submissions. So anyway, that's what they're talking about doing, and when I spoke with them, and I know a lot of people have been talking about this, and that's why I asked him, I go, dude, you can't get Metallica to record something specific, you know? And he told me straight out, he goes, we actually did reach out to them, and they politely declined. They said, we love doing the, you know, like the Metallica night, just like they do with the Giants and everything like that, but very politely they said, you know, that we appreciate the offer, but that's not something that we're interested in right now. So we can write that off.
It's a
It was probably Lars. It was probably Lars.
Oh, of course.
Probably Lars.
Like, you know why? Because it's like, man, you know what's going to happen is people are going to illegally download that, man.
They're gonna go
It's going to be fucking Napster all over again.
No, because you know what? It's kind of BS because when you watch the Giants games, they're playing and they love being there and I mean to a certain extent they do that with the Sharks, but I just feel like we're kind of like the redheaded stepchild, you know.
Yeah, we always.
No, that would literally be the Niners more so than, but.
Well, either way,
you don't see the Niners getting a Metallica night. Sure.
Not yet. And then I brought up the whole issue about Sammy Hagar's Mas Tequila, and they weren't even aware of that. So I don't know if that's something that they're going to even look into, but I just wanted to throw that out there that that was my experience with it, and just to let you know what happened, at least with what the Sharks are thinking on that with regards to Metallica. And why am I echoing all of a sudden? That was weird. And I will mention one other thing. Like I said, Steve Maroney said that he liked my submission. And friend to the show, you may know him, you love him. He's known as the Bro Dog. I sent my video to Brody, and he actually got back to me a couple days later and said, you know what? It took me a day or two, but he said he really liked my submission. It's grown on him, and a lot of it had to do with where nobody likes change with something like this, but he said it grew on him, so I really appreciated that feedback, and I thought it was cool. So I'm hoping my track has a shot, and don't even think that I won't be there on opening night, and whether they're going to announce it beforehand or not. But if I'm there on opening night and the Sharks score and they start playing Let's Go, I'm gonna be just acting the fool.
Now, how drunk are you gonna be during that?
Yeah, that's what
well, it depends on how early they score, motherfucker.
It's like opening night when they played Boston, and we only scored our first goal with like a half a minute to go. Oh crap! I feel for the people who are sitting next to AJ that night.
Woo! Product of ISO beers, double
That's
check.
right. That's right. Oh, let's not. You know what?
I love that.
You know what? Let's move on.
We shall move on. The next topic is something you see behind me and what I'm wearing. It's Jersey Talk. Yes. Oh boy. Get excited about this one, folks. Adidas is taking over for Reebok in 2 seasons. As we all know, Adidas, if you couldn't tell, is the 3-stripe brand. They put their triple stripe all over the bleeping place. You will see it on the undershirts, t-shirts, jackets, hoodies, you name it. I'm sure if they made NHL condoms, they probably would. Who knows?
Hey, you never know.
Hey, don't they have the alternate girl logo too, right? They still have that?
I would believe so. Believe so.
You have to excuse me for a minute. Ian's got me all self-conscious now about my hair. Apparently, I use too much product. Go ahead.
Oh boy. Okay, thank you, Brandon Crawford. It's yeah. So
Luscious.
it's a great it's a huge deal. Of course, they beat out Under Armour and Bauer to produce the jerseys. In essence, a lot of things won't be changing, mainly because Adidas owns Reebok, and the Reebok brand has kind of been focusing on just the running and the shoes portion, while Adidas has kind of been, yeah, it's shoes, but it also is apparel as well.
It's a
So
lifestyle.
yeah, you could see it potentially just nothing changes except for, the center ice gear, like the coaches wear at practice or the trainers wear on the bench during games.
Which
A
I'm
lot of
which I'm totally fine with. Adidas shirts are comfy as hell, and their hoodies are just as are comfy. So I could see that happening, and I'm all for that if that happens. With Reeboks, it's okay, but they're not really good for apparel. But Adidas knows how to make apparel. So if that's the only change that's gonna happen, and maybe the teal will be more teal and less Pacific teal, I'm down. I'm just. But we'll get to the other thing that might irk me later. So.
we're
I
getting
guess
there in a sec, but I mean, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I guess from what all I hear is that it's simply kind of like a transition, kind of going from child company to parent company, not a real um, not a real big like change in tool sets and things like that. So if you guys were listening to Merrick versus Wyszynski, I can never say that right. Um, he was saying, it wouldn't surprise him that they're just going to use the same production facilities, the same tool sets, everything will be the same. It's just literally a little three-stripe logo on the back neck, kind of like the way the old Reebok Edge logo used to be, and that could be it.
Yeah, AJ, your thoughts on Reebok going over to Adidas now?
I know we covered a little bit of this the last time. I could care less. The I mean, we're talking about, it says Reebok on the back, and now it's going to have 3 lines. I mean, at this point, or it's going to say Adidas on the collar instead of Reebok. At this point, I can't see that being. I can't see it being any more than that. Now, if it gets, my whole thing is when it gets to this point, we're going to have a serious problem. This is what I'm worried about. When they start changing the primary logo and it ends up being something else. This, of course, compliments to our buddy Gen X, but when you see this little tiny thing in the corner, that would kind of piss me off. I think the only place that the Adidas logo should be, maybe you put it at the end of one of the sleeves at the wrist, maybe you put it behind the neck, that's fine. But when we get to this point of shall we say, more about the sponsor than the team, then yeah, maybe we got a little bit of a problem. But with this jersey, I don't mind where the Adidas signage is.
Yeah, I mean, so like in North American sports, right? We've got the NFL, who's really been surprising, who's held out on any kind of branding on jerseys. You look at the major leagues. I mean, jerseys are sacred. And you look at the NHL. Um, they've pretty much been untouched for hundreds of years, or 100 years in Montreal's case. And then you look at the last league, NBA. Yeah, and they don't have any ads on jerseys too. So this whole scare about ads on jerseys, not that I want to say it's unfounded, but I feel like it would have to change. The whole sports landscape in North America would have to change first before the NHL would be the trailblazer on that.
And you know what? You make a great point. I was listening to Ched earlier today, Oilers talk, because they had Remenda on, and there was actually a little bit of discussion about this. And one of their guys made a great point: was this is the one thing that you can't bitch about Gary Bettman. Like, we've got this whole laundry list of things that we complain about Gary Bettman and what he's done to the NHL, but this is like one of the things that he's actually done right. When they hand out the Art Ross trophy, they don't sit there and go, and now, the Tostitos Art Ross trophy. They don't sit there and say, and now the Visa Stanley Cup. Like, they've kept the tradition with that and haven't sold the naming rights for all that garbage. It's not the I don't know, the MasterCard All-Star Game,
the Rose Bowl presented by Tostitos.
Or
the
the
All-Star Game
Stanley
is
Cup
presented
Finals.
by Tim Horton.
Or the Stanley Cup Finals presented by Maxi Pads.
And the Heritage, right? The Heritage Classic's got the Tim Hortons, and the Winter Classic is Bridgestone.
And the Coors Light Stadium Series.
And Coors Light, yeah. So I think they've strategically put ads where people won't get get all upset and up in arms about it, and that's fine.
Well, if it's just going to be the Stadium Series presented by, or if it's some type of special event where it's just like, obviously it's like the Winter Classic or the Stadium Series, that's fine. But if you're going to start putting it where it's like, the Stanley Cup Finals, or the Verizon, Stanley Cup Finals, and then you're going to see the Verizon symbol on the Stanley Cup, that's when I'm going to be like, what the fuck, guys? I don't need that shit. I mean, yes, I know the signal will be great and it'll be way better than AT&T, but come on. I don't need to see that on this.
Hey, Chester?
Oh, God, I got to see this.
Chester's got him shot.
Oh my God.
It's awesome.
Hey,
I'm rocking my Doug Wilson. This episode of Pucknology After Dark brought to you by Doug Wilson's Orange Tanner.
Oh, this is
You
great.
too can have a complexion like a pumpkin.
And the mystery of why there's only the Sharks jerseys it's been solved.
AJ,
Doug
can you say that
Wilson.
one more time?
No,
Now
see, here's the problem.
Now currently on the Pucknology shopping channel, Doug Wilson's tanning lotion, feature price $21.99, as shown by our model AJ Strong, on Easy Pay for 3 payments of $7.33.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Finally, I'm not being made fun of. Yes.
Here's the problem though, is that when I was making fun of that, I did the whole face with about the pumpkin, and now I'm slowly waiting for the screenshot to come back like a motherfucker, or they're just gonna actually like Photoshop a pumpkin right here,
Yeah,
Well,
I'm thinking you're either gonna kill me in that look, or I caught you doing something really bad in that look.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, you know what happens? What happens on Pucknology After Dark stays on YouTube, so...
We're right up there with the Price is Right model accidentally giving away a car.
Fuck it, dude. Gen X, really? Do not encourage that behavior, Gen X. Come on, man.
But going
back to the jersey.
Yeah. So I think I would be cool with a small patch. The patch the size of like the 20th anniversary logo. That would be cool with me. That wouldn't bother me.
No, because you know what? Then it becomes a point that where does it stop? It's like you allow that one patch, and then you sit there and go, oh, well, one more wouldn't look that bad. And then so on and so forth. No. You draw the line right here. You say, no, the jersey is sacred. I believe there was even a player. I can't remember who.
Blake Wheeler.
Yeah, Blake Wheeler. He tweeted out something along the lines of, no, that is sacred. If you want to put like a patch like on the other leg of their shorts, they already got the insignia. You want to do that? Okay, that's fine. You know what? Hands off the damn jersey. That's all I got to say. Hands off the jersey.
There's already advertising on the sticks and the pads that they use, but it's like I don't feel.
If you look at the boards, there's advertisements on the ice, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
In this last year, we saw them starting to superimpose the ice CGI on the glass behind the goalies for the home games. It's like,
Yeah.
when the hell is enough going to be enough? You know, I mean, hell, we even saw it this year, and granted, it's a different sport. When the hell did they start sponsoring when a coach comes out to talk to a pitcher?
Oh yeah, they started.
I'm watching the Giants, and it's like, oh, this meeting on the mound brought to you by Ring Central, and I'm like, are you fucking for real?
Well, yeah, everything needs to be sponsored by something.
That's right. When it's time for a change, think of Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert.
You know what, though? At least that makes sense. What the fuck does a meeting on the mound have to do with Ring Central? Give me a break.
And this rant brought to you by Arrogant Bastard Ale.
Actually, triple Carmelite, bro. Get it right.
There you go.
No,
Hey,
it's all brought to you by
going-
Pretzel M&Ms.
Ooh.
We're diverting again. Let's stay on point here.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Well, I mean, I
That's
think.
why we only have 23 followers.
Yeah. But I mean, if we go full Barclays Premier League, where Qantas or what Emirates is the full logo, and I don't see Manchester United or I don't see Man City or Arsenal or whatever, and I don't even know what the logos look like anymore, then we have problems.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like, what's the team name of this? Is it Chevrolet, or is it Manchester United? Is it Fly Emirates, or AC Milan?
Right.
It's. I mean, you look at the CFL, and that's what they have on their jerseys.
Already too much.
I mean, there's two on there, which once one gets on, it's just a matter of time before Gary says, "Oh, you can put it on the other side, and we'll just hide that captaincy somewhere."
Here's the thing that's going to irritate me is that from the NHL standpoint, it makes sense for them because they don't really gross a whole lot of revenue. I mean, they get a lot of revenue, but they don't get as much as the NFL, MLB, NBA, and stuff like that. So they're trying to get all this revenue in, and so you got to look at Gary Bettman, who's just like, I can get how much more $1 million per season if I let them put like a couple of patches on there. So on one hand, I understand, but Bettman, you already fucked us over with so many goddamn lockouts. Whatever you do, don't fucking put ads on the jerseys. We already have too many.
Well, okay, let me put it a different way then. If, let's say, we had 2 logo spots or 2 advertisement spots on a jersey, but that meant you could get another player, like a $4 or $5 million cap add-on, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to affect the annual revenue, and cap will go up if they have extra sponsors. I mean, would that offset it any, or is the jersey that big a deal where you could potentially say, I'd rather have a clean jersey than have a better roster, for instance?
I would rather have a clean jersey than a better roster. I think this is it's stooping to a low point where they're starting to get very close to being gimmicky. Power play sponsored by Cash Creek. A Barracuda penalty kill, advertisements about a future game superimposed on plexiglass. We even have the blue lines and the red lines sponsored by Reebok. I know in Europe, and I think even in some junior league teams, they have a small 1-inch strip on the plexiglass itself for when they're showing close-ups of the players that have a little bit of a sponsor. I would be fine with that rather than putting hell. Why don't we just put like a logo on the back of their helmets? I think would probably be more revenue sharing than anything else, rather than the jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the NHL going like KHL style, or what is it, the Finnish Elite League style, where they have patches everywhere and it looks like a NASCAR jacket. I don't see them going that way. But I mean, if they had a little SAP logo, would that really bother me? I mean, yeah, it kind of opens a can of worms, but one logo wouldn't bother me.
Well, but like,
oh my God! Okay, I knew Chester was gonna pull it off. You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
well,
Motherfucker!
we get to that, before we get to Gen X, one of the, we started out, oh, we're just gonna have a few little, advertisements on the boards. Then the whole boards were encased with ads. Oh, we're gonna put a couple of logos in the middle of the center ice. Okay, that's all right. So that's fine. What's next? We're gonna put an advertisement behind the net. Are we gonna put logos inside the face-off circles now? I mean,
are we gonna start putting advertisements on the goalie pad? This save brought to you by I don't know.
Exactly, and that's the.
Yeah, it's out of hand. It's too gimmicky, but we got to move on over this.
Yeah.
Next, though, we continue our jersey talk for the moment. As we get into, we still haven't seen what any type of a announcement, even when we're going to get the announcement, or at least the release of what we will now know as the Heritage jersey. As you can see, there is a mock-up that Aesthetics has put out, and actually Eric has a version that I actually think is a little bit better. It's not too different from this, but I think it's better. And okay, yeah, you can still see most of it, but yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, basically the whole thing on the press release for the anniversary was that it wasn't going to be. It was a newly created jersey, which homage, from the team's beginnings to now. Of course, we've seen that shark before. That's on the anniversary logo, but we've seen it also separate itself. If you have been into the Shark store since the season ended, they are now selling the NorCal patches, which is something, I think is very interesting, because a lot of people were crying for the real NorCal patch instead of the iron-on, thing that they had on all the replica jerseys. Which, by the way, Scott Hannon's Stadium Series jersey is still available at the Shark store for $90.
Wake me when it gets to 30.
Well,
yeah, I know, right?
You know what? I'm apparently not a real Sharks fan, because obviously Scott Hannon was the last hope that the Sharks had.
Oh gosh. Oh God. Let's hold that thought, Gent, because there's a story behind that, and we'll get to it in a sec. But basically, I mean, this is something, you have your modernized logos. You do have the original striping, which I would be shocked if it's not the original striping that the league is on, or that the team uses. It has the NorCal patches, which of course obviously has a fin swimming in the ocean encased in a circle, and the modern Sharks logo with the tail flipping the other way. Of course, I put on the quote-unquote hanger effect Sharks territory since 1991, along with a silver tie-down to represent the silver anniversary for the team. I would have to think it's got to be something similar to this, guys. And when talking to the Sharks store the other day, they said that
something similar.
Yeah, they said that they were hoping to get it before the holidays, although they're trying to push it to get in sooner because they believe everybody will go nuts over it.
Hold on, let's rephrase that. We're trying to get it in before the holidays because we know we're going to get a shitload of money on that Christmas dollar.
Well, no, but I mean, they're saying they're trying to aim before Thanksgiving because it's going to be that popular. I mean, let's be real.
Because they're going to sell that many for Christmas. Let's be real.
Oh man, the Sharks are really blowing their load. I mean, how about releasing it before the season starts, and then we can have a throwback Thursday? Oh my God, I just solved the Sharks marketing problem right there. Boom.
Mic drop. But let's be real here. The Sharks didn't get the stadium jerseys until after Thanksgiving. So
but that was only a jersey they wore like what 2-3 times afterwards. This is a heritage jersey. This is something that's going to be celebrating the whole 25th season. So I think they should get it out a lot sooner than Christmas. What are they like?
I'm
Sharks.
thinking.
As
I'm
an
thinking.
organization, are you guys? I mean, I don't hate to use this word, but are you slow? Are you retarded?
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, if anything, they should open the home season with this jersey on.
Yeah.
Right? First game at SAP, they should all come out and have that be like, hey, you know what? This is 25th anniversary. This is, going to be a great year. Start it off right instead of having these stupid selected dates where they bring out the jersey. It's to me, they're always kind of ill-timed on when they wear jerseys or when they release jerseys or whatever.
No, I think we'd all be happy. I think most fans would agree that this is the season that you truly embrace the whole idea of Throwback Thursday. Every Thursday home game, you wear whatever this heritage jersey ends up being. Now, we've already heard that there's probably going to be a handful of games, probably less than, I don't know, maybe 4, where they're going to trot out those damn stadium jerseys again.
They're wearing them again?
Yeah.
No, they are, because I haven't heard anything about that one.
No, I heard that there's supposed to be 4 games where they're going to bring those pieces of crap back out. Actually, some people are saying that they think it'll just be 2, and of course, it's going to be 2 of the home games against LA. That's what I'm seeing. It might just be speculation, but it sounds as though there's going to be at least 2 games where they roll those pieces of crap back out. No fan wants that, especially in the 25th anniversary. This is supposed to be about, making the acknowledgement of the previous 24 years. Like I said, embrace the whole Throwback Thursday idea. Can the black jerseys for a season, and just every home Thursday game, you go retro. That's the best thing that they can do. Come out to 2 Unlimited. Really do the, put on the whole thing. Do the Zamboni race, or the, what was it, the Evil Zamboni, the 209 Zamboni, and all. I mean, bring a lot of that stuff back. I think we all know we're not going to get 4 in the net pizza you get, but, bring back what you can, and that would just be such a great idea. So hopefully they do it. But I got to say, I really like this mock-up that Eric has up here. The only critique that I could possibly give this is I actually liked, you sent me a different version that has like the current style of the numbers, but the only, which I did kind of like a little bit better for some reason, which is odd because I really like this style of number, but I think it's because I really love that style of jersey. But the only thing is, I wonder, chances are they're going to use this crest. I just feel like it's a little bit redundant when you've got the exact same crest as on the 25th patch.
But then again, if you look at the jerseys where it was like they have the jumping shark logo on the shoulders and they just have the shield one, I mean that's essentially the same thing. And they should have gone with the SJ patch or something different, or the fin one.
Yeah, I agree. And that was the whole thing too. When they made this whole switch back in 07 or whatever it was, when they switched the logo, we went to the Japanese anime Sharkachu logo that we have now, and they switched from the circle with the fin into it to the diamond. Has anybody seen that diamond really used on anything?
There's only one. So there's only one logo. There's only one spot that logo is clearly visible on our 3 jerseys that we have in current use. So it's on a small square of the SJ patch on the black jersey. That's the only spot.
But I'm saying, like using it in the exact same way
as the original
circle with the fin used to be on the shoulders.
The only time that they have used that has been since they went to the Next Wave jerseys, and they have it on the back of, like, I think the away helmets.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm talking on a jersey, not the shorts, not the helmets, but okay.
No.
All right. Just wanted to finish that up.
That jersey is the most criminally underused piece of artwork that they have in their entire repertoire. That fin is awesome.
Right. I mean, the second me and Gentry saw that they had a hat out with that Finn logo on it, we jumped all over it because it rocks. And again, yeah, it's underused. I used the NorCal patch just because it's something they're selling at the store, and
It has it in it. It's
it has it in
incorporated.
it, and it's incorporated in it, and it looks sharp on it.
It does. It does. It really does look good.
You know, I was looking at those jerseys, and I was looking at all the throwback ones, and it's like it's going to be a mixture of old and new and stuff like that. And I was like, well, wouldn't it be cool if they did like a kind of mixture of their two most iconic ones, which was obviously the first years where it was like, you know, obviously the ones that we've seen, and then the Nike design ones. In a way.
You know what? Those are personally me and AJ's probably favorite jerseys, the Nike silver Finn logo guys.
Yep.
But it seems like, not that they want to get away from them, but they're kind of distancing themselves from that look. And I don't know why, but they are.
It's funny. It's funny though that you brought up a hat that had the Diamond Finn logo, because this is one of my all-time favorite hats.
Yeah, that one rocks too.
And then one of the two of the things that I enjoy about this hat, obviously, the primary fin on the front, which you almost completely underutilized patch. They should have made like embroidered sweatshirts with that logo or something. I mean, that was just so cool. Of course, that it's a CCM hat, and then okay, I want to get Eric back in on this. When's Eric coming back? We're gonna play a little game. Whose signature is that?
I'm gonna go with Jay Baker.
Where did he go?
I'm going with
Okay,
Banks.
we're playing a game, Eric, called Whose Signature Is That?
Jeff Friesen.
And Eric Cura would be right.
Yes! What do I win?
This was the season where he came back for the tryout and was wearing 13 instead of 39, obviously.
Right.
Yeah,
and I'll be honest with you, I was a little pissed off after he signed it with 13. I was like, oh, fuck, dude, really? You couldn't have put 39 on there? It was an old-time hat, for Christ's sake.
I know. Here's the hat that I was talking about. The second we saw this, Ginger went,
now, that's not a bad logo. I still think this is the better logo between the two.
I do too, but this is a nice... This is a nicer update. Even with the orange in it, it's a sweet update to it.
Yeah, I still like the gray fin with the teal and everything. I still like this one better.
Everything's going black, man, and you just gotta accept it. Gray.
Because once you go black, you never go back, right? Okay.
Okay, think about it like this. Who wants 50 Shades of Gray? You know, when you got one tone of black.
There you go. All right, we need to get off the jersey subject. Now we move on to let's get through this now, boys. We only got a few more things. Okay, quick bite. Quebec and Vegas are in the third round of getting teams. Okay, sure. Let's hit on a couple points. First, how the hell is realignment going to work on that? You can't add. Obviously, if you add Las Vegas in, they would move into the Pacific, and you can't put Quebec into the Western Conference. You can't get any more east than Quebec for the most part. So what does that mean? Does that mean Columbus is moving, or Detroit is moving, or one of those two is going to sit there and piss and moan and bitch?
No. So, I think the league's been pretty hard on Quebec as far as getting it back in. So it wouldn't surprise me if they said, "Hey, look, you're playing in the West until Seattle comes." I think.
But then what? But then what? And how long is it going to be till Seattle shows up? And now you're talking about another team in the Pacific. We still need to. You have to balance out the Central.
No, I agree. I agree, and I don't know what the answer is, but
that's what I'm saying. Columbus or Detroit has to move to the Central.
I already have it figured out. Arizona folds, and then they relocate. Because we all know that's going to happen. I'm sorry. The Arizona does not want a hockey team. I mean, with the small handful
does Florida.
Teams, yeah, I was saying relocate them because obviously Florida Panthers, they're not thriving in that area, and the Coyotes are not thriving in Arizona. So what you do is you just relocate Arizona to Las Vegas, and then you relocate Florida to Quebec or something like that. I mean, they only and Florida only needs one hockey team, and that's been the most successful, which has been Tampa Bay, and that's also been the most relevant. Uh, Stick to that, and then maybe you get a team in maybe Seattle, maybe, and then you move a team to Kansas City at some point. Boom.
Kansas City, I don't know. I mean, they already did the Scouts once, and that didn't turn out so hot.
But I see where Gentry's getting at because Kansas City has a rink ready to go right now. However, I see, Arizona going to Seattle once Seattle gets their crap together.
Seattle
Florida,
is not going to happen before a basketball team.
and there's the problem right there. Seattle has to get over. Yes, you lost your Supersonics. Yes, you want a basketball team back. But guess what? The league is wanting to put a team in there, but you're like, oh, I miss our Supersonics. Oh,
See,
let it go.
this is what I'm. But this is what I'm.
And if this doesn't work, you put them in Portland. And if nobody wants them in Portland, yeah, maybe you try Kansas City. But for what it's worth, Florida, I think, has a straight shot to go to Quebec, and boom, we're done.
Well, so Teal Tinted brought this up, I don't know, a few episodes back. But basically what they're saying is if we're getting one in Vegas and one in Quebec, you're basically just expanding the imbalance by one anyway. So what would really change?
Exactly. You need to have somebody needs to move. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's like, okay, yeah, I get expansion because why would the league want to turn down $1 billion to bring in 2 new teams? But it's the idea of not seeing the forest through the trees. Why are you going to bring in a team in Quebec? I mean, I understand why you bring a team to Quebec. I get that. To Vegas, I'm not so sure. Vegas is kind of like L.A. The Kings, as far as I know, and the Ducks, they're not exactly setting the world on fire in the attendance race down there. There's a lot of stuff to do in L.A., and there's a lot more to do in Vegas, with regards to all the casinos, all the nightlife, all the things that you can do after 7 o'clock at night. I think a team working in Vegas is going to be a tough road to hoe, especially when I would venture to say that the majority of the games there, the visitors are going to have more fans there than the home team. Now, with that said, once again, it's a case of why are you expanding when you've got teams like Carolina, Florida, Arizona that are struggling?
Amen.
Why not move Arizona? Yeah. If you want a team in Vegas so damn bad, why not move the Coyotes to Vegas?
Because Bettman has a hard-on for Arizona for some reason. He just wants to keep them there.
Well, no,
and then move Carolina or Florida to Quebec. Move a couple teams, and for God's sakes, think about instead of adding 2 teams, think about taking away 2 teams to balance it out. You've got 4 at least. I mean, Arizona, Carolina, and Florida, the top 3. I'm sure we could find another one that's not probably doing that great, but at the very least, you could take away Carolina and Florida. Boom, you'd have instant balance to the schedule, to the divisions, and you'd start working on and move to Arizona to Vegas. Boom, you're fine for the time being.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
stabilize the league first.
There's two problems with minimization, right, or subtraction. One is the PA will push back because that means there's less players employed. That's the PA will put its heels in the ground for that. And we all know what happens when they do that. We have a lockout. And 2, you're now subtracting 2 teams that would generate revenue, or some don't, and the 2 that you want to subtract would probably take out would not draw on revenue sharing, but that's 2 places that you now can't generate any revenue out of. So I don't see subtraction or retraction as a viable option. I think really the reason why Arizona doesn't work is because it's not downtown. It's in Glendale. It's like a 40-minute drive. You know? So
And the whole point, the original idea was to have them in Scottsdale, where
right.
it's a little more hoity-toity with the mall that's in Glendale to go with it. And because Scottsdale said no, Glendale went, no, sure, we'll build an arena. Apparently, though, it's tough to go to a Coyotes game, but apparently it's not tough to go to a Cardinals game, and they play next door. It just unfortunately seems like that, And I know there's a number of fans that are diehard to go to Coyotes games, but unfortunately, there's the support, and let's be honest, the on ice product too is just not working out.
Yeah,
They've won two playoff series in franchise history, and that was that one year where the Kings were on their run, and they haven't been since. So, and as for Florida, do we really need to see any more pictures of a 9/10 arena full?
well,
Well,
and the
on
other thing about
Twitter, I'm sorry, just some on Twitter, Gen X and Ian are making some really good points. Ian is saying, I don't know if the NHL gives up that TV market in Phoenix. The Yotes will probably move back downtown. Let's see how they figure that one out. And then it says most of the stuff does not appeal to the locals, though. There are 2 million people in that area. I'm assuming he's talking about Arizona. And then, of course, no way the NHLPA, as you were saying, Landy, lets the league cut that many jobs. Contraction ain't going to happen unless a team literally folds and they can't find another schmuck to buy the team. That's from Gen X. And I would agree with that, but how close is Florida to folding at this point? I mean, we're talking a team that is averaging like 9,000 a game, maybe 10,000.
yeah, but the Violas are pretty deep pocketed. They would move before they would fold.
So what? Well, if they're pretty deep pocketed, what are the Panthers like a tax break for them? And they just that's a write off for them every year?
Yeah, it's a Salvation Army, donation. It's like,
Well,
hey, we're
it's,
not
you
making
know
all that
what?
money.
I would not. It would not surprise me if they have a similar situation as the Sharks, where the Sharks cry wolf all the time about not making enough money, but we all know that they rake in a lot from SAP Center.
Well, they're the only game in town, and the thing is that with the difference between the Sharks and Florida is that the Sharks
Oh no. I'm not saying
yeah.
that the Sharks are on the level of the Florida Panthers. I'm merely saying that they're probably using them the same way as tax break and doing some creative accounting, right? Because the Sharks say that they lose money, right? And they're saying right now they lose money, but we all know
I still want to know what the deal is on that. Are we talking the Sharks themselves? Are we talking SVSE as a corporation? Every time I hear that shit about the Sharks losing money, I'm not saying that they're full of it. I'm just saying I want to know, how is this creative accounting being handled? Because I'm paying $8.50 for beer that cost them $1 to purchase, and I'm paying whatever it is for a slice of pizza.
$9.50 for nachos that they made that nuked, and it probably cost them $2.50 at all.
I don't even think it cost them that much because typically the foods are actually cheaper than the brew on some of that stuff. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at $30 probably this coming season, $35 to park. You look at all these different things that they're charging for, and you look at even some of the shirts. I remember Eric and I were talking about this even at the sale, the super sale that we went to. They had a couple nice like those dry fit polos that I've always thought those are way overpriced to begin. They're like $85 to begin with, and even at the so-called super sale, they'd put them to like $50, and I'm like going, no, I'm not paying more than like $35 for one of these things. The markup on some of these items are just incredibly ridiculous, and it all has to do with, it's like, here's a shirt that you could buy at just about any other store for $12, but we've slapped this logo on it, and now that automatically makes it worth 35, even though it cost us 25 cents to put that logo on there. So I want to see, when they say that they're losing money, are they taking into account concessions, merch and all that stuff? Is this merch? Is this food and beverage? Is this parking? Are we talking about every other event? Like, are we subsidizing the Sabercats? Like, I want to know everything that's encompassing. I would love to see the books to see what the deal really is when they say that they're losing money every time, because it's hard for me to see, obviously up until this last season, but prior to that, 5, 6, 7 years of straight sellouts, and you're still losing money? I don't know about that.
It's probably coming from the fact that they have to pay off people from leaking photos of Joe Thornton's cock. So yeah.
Wow, we just went after dark, people.
Woo!
I wonder if the SAP Center itself is kind of managed by a different corporation or different shell where like the Taylor Swift money goes.
Okay. First and foremost, don't bring T Swift into this argument.
Oh God.
No, I'm merely saying like concerts and other stuff that the SAP Center, because they pull in a lot from concerts.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that they would be in the business of running the Sharks if it didn't make them money somehow. Not saying the Sharks themselves make money, because they probably don't as a team, but all of the things included, and who knows how much the city of San Jose gives them for managing the arena and all that other contractual things.
I think they got carte blanche over SAP Center, because I mean, look at how much I normally downtown San Jose, when it's when it's the off season, other than the people who are local and stuff like that, it's pretty dead. And I delivered to downtown San Jose quite a bit for my job, and I can go down there and I'm like, it's scarce. But then once you get into the season and once you start getting into Sharks games, it's packed. Like San Pedro Square, like the parking lot there is like that's full. You've got Peggy Sue's on San Pedro as well is packed. You've got the Brit, owned by Sharks great Owen Olin, or partly owned, is packed. But like during the off season, it's dead, and I think it's like the city of San Jose kind of recognizes the fact it's like, oh well, the Sharks
it's dead
are
during the week.
Yeah, it's dead during the week, and obviously I haven't been there during the weekends. Hopefully I'm gonna
pretty jumping on the weekends.
Okay, well, but from what I've seen, it's dead.
So to kind of go back, back onto the whole subject. It wouldn't surprise me if we might see a relocation before we see a fold. That would make more sense to me.
I'm just saying that we're not going to see a team fold. Obviously, the PA won't allow or would have a shitstorm over that. But I still think it's a bad idea to have expansion. It's just silly to expand when the teams that you got at the currently aren't sustaining themselves. That's all I'm saying. I would love to see just Florida, move. Well, obviously not Arizona. Move Florida to Vegas, move Carolina to Quebec. We're all fine. We're all 6s and 7s. It's all good. We need to get on from this and move on to the next story.
Yes, but before we do, let me just give Gentry a moment here. There you go, Jen.
She's never looked hotter.
I gotta say, she's never looked hotter, and she wasn't a bitter pain in the ass. Anyways, moving on. We are amongst a celebrity very shortly. As you've heard, when he was talking about submitting his goal song for our very own AJ Strong was selected to be a part of filming a video. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a commercial or in arena video or whatnot. But AJ, tell us about your experience of being in the Sharks commercial. Apparently, you ran into a couple of people that were right up there with your celebrity status.
Oh my God! Yes, I was right up there. Thank you.
Not like he needs the extra boost of the ego, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. No, so the Sharks, sent out a tweet or whatever, something about if you want to be in a commercial, 25th anniversary, send us a video about your favorite Sharks moment. Maybe you'll be selected. Apparently, I was selected, so I went down last Monday, and when I got there, it was when they brought me into the room where they were already filming Christy Yamaguchi doing her her favorite moments. Essentially, all it was is they sit you in the chair with the background and everything, and there's a teleprompter in your face, and rather than it being words on the teleprompter, it's actually the face of the person that's asking you questions, and he essentially described it as, so we're just going to sit here and kind of be like two guys bullshitting about hockey for 30, 40 minutes. I'm just going to ask you just random questions, and just whatever comes to your head, just go with it. You don't have to worry about being long-winded. And I just looked at him and I went, oh, you have no idea who you're talking to.
Apparently they're not. They've never watched the show.
Yeah, no, I'm all, dude, you might, my session was from 2 to 3, and I'm like, you might want to cancel your 3 o'clock, bro. I'm just saying. So that's all it basically was. He just, it was, what does Sharks territory mean to you? What, of course we got into, what is your favorite Sharks memory? What's the experience like going to a game? What would you tell somebody, who's coming to their first game, or what would you tell to somebody who's never been? Just
Don't
things
wear an LA Kings jersey.
Yeah, stuff like that. It was actually it was a really, really fun, really cool experience. Apparently, there was a couple times during the commercial shoot, I'm pretty confident that I'll be at least a portion of whatever I did, because obviously they're going to cut and edit the crap out of this. They talked to me for 40 minutes, and we're all talking about, a 30-second spot. And before Christy Yamaguchi, Brent Burns was there. So, there's going to be tons of people in these spots. Like what you guys alluded to earlier, I asked them, I'm like, is this for TV on CSN, before, during, after games? Is this for in the Shark Tank before, during, after games? Or is this, where do you plan on using this? And they said all of it. They said, we're going to use it on TV, we're going to use it in game, we're going to make it on, we're going to post it and tweet it out, we're going to put it on the website. And there was talk about even cutting, if the audio was good enough, they might even cut things for, for radio, for promoting, the anniversary. I was told that there was like 3 or 4, in the instance of having my back and forth with the guy, there was a couple times where they stopped they said, okay, hold on for a second, and they had to mark something, and I'm like, did I do something wrong? And they're like, no, we just wanted to mark that because that was a really good quote. We're going to use that. So I'm pretty confident I'll be in the commercial at least a couple times because I guess they like what I said. So, but it was, like I said, really fun experience. At the end of it, the really cool thing was just as I was finishing and starting to walk out the door, the guy that we talked about earlier, Steve Maroney, came in. And he's like, are you AJ? And you sent me that video with the song that you liked, and I say, yeah. And he goes, the 6 a.m. song, right? And then all of a sudden, 2 of the guys that were working on the video project are all, oh, you're the guy who sent in that 6 a.m. track, dude. That was an awesome song. So clearly, they're all listening to it. So hopefully, it does have a good, a chance of getting there. But either way, it was a blast. I cannot wait to see what the finished product is, because I will tell you, I'll give you a little sneak peek, and Chester, I'm gonna fucking kill you when you screenshot this shit. They talked to me about the chomp, and they said, what is it like when it's and of course I'm when you're at the tank, of course you're doing it really big, and he's like, okay, if you could do it just like this, that would be really cool. And then he said something about dancing and he goes, so, do you do the white man's overbite when you're, dancing after the Sharks score a goal? And it's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, and then
That's where Gentry comes in.
and he goes, well, no. And what's funny, he goes, okay, can you do that exactly like you just did it, just a scotch slower? And I was like, oh crap, they're gonna use this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So chances are, come in about a month and a half from now, you're gonna see a bumper when you're watching a Giants game or whatever, when they promote the Sharks game, and you're gonna see my stupid pumpkin head going. So yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I wish I could replace this with Chris's patented.
I'm sorry, I gotta break that. Okay, Chester just has a gif of you just kind of doing the kind of. Oh my God, it's glorious. And then also Gen X asks the most important question: how many times did you mention Drew's name?
Oh, okay. You know what? Good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Gentry's talking about a gift that's like from a month and a half ago. Where have you been, bro? So anyway.
Working.
No, it's funny that you say that because I asked. Oh my God. Okay, we're all having a good time on Twitter. Fuck all of you guys. Okay. All right. So Gen X asked the golden question: how many times did you mention Drew's name? I only mentioned it once, but here's the funny thing. It was during the time, just as I was leaving, and they came in and we started talking about the goal song. And when he was telling me about, like I talked about earlier, where we're going to pick these songs and send them out, I said, honestly, you want to appease the fan base. I said, tell them they can have one of two things. They can have Rock and Roll Part 2 or Drew Remenda back, one or the other, and then let them vote, and you see which one happens. and they all got a chuckle out of that because they're like, yeah, we'd all rather have Drew back.
Yeah.
No disrespect the Bigs.
So it was pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, that was my little story, and like I said, I can't wait to see what happens in a month and a half or whatever. They said it would probably be about 4 weeks of editing after they're done with everybody. I'm assuming that there's going to be, like I said, Brent Burns was there beforehand, but obviously they talked to Yamaguchi. You would assume that they're going to talk to the entire broadcast crew, probably, Marlowe, players that have been there for a while. I was actually kind of surprised when they said Burns, because I would have thought it would have been like Marlowe, Thornton, guys that have been around for a while, Ricci. So anyway, it should be a lot of fun to watch. What do we have here, Eric?
Just a preview of a wallpaper that you're going to see in the coming weeks. Yeah, it's fun.
Two more quick things and we can get out of here. Quick article that I saw today. The New York Islanders are dumping their ice girls.
What?
Yes. Caught an article today. IslandersPointBlank.com says, if you can believe it. And what's funny is they named the Sharks in the article. But it says, this article came out this morning. It says, are the Ice Girls on their way out? Since the 01-02 season, the Islanders Ice Girls have been a mainstay at Nassau, but it looks like that will end when they move to Brooklyn. And according to a source close to the organization, Ice Girls won't make the trip to Barclays, and instead a co-ed team will clean the ice during timeouts and will be wearing the matching gear, the gender-neutral tracksuits that the Sharks ice team used to wear. And as a follow-up to that quick kind of snippet, it says the idea of Ice Girls has come under fire of late, specifically in San Jose, where a group of Sharks fans began a boycott of the team unless they allowed the women to wear the same outfits as the men doing the same job. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, and you know what? Go Isles! I appreciate that. I don't see why girls should look. I'm all for seeing girls wear as little clothing as possible when they have hot athletic bodies, but to me it's like time and place. And you know what? Hockey game, that's not the time or the place. There was no reason to see girls wearing skimpy little outfits to scrape up the ice. They can wear tracksuits just like the guys. Just like they had for the previous 20-something years,
Yeah, and I think the big issue was, or still even is that you've got guys doing the same job, arm in arm with the girls, but yet the girls have a different dress code. So it's like, yeah, that
So
just,
it's discriminating, essentially.
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's. I mean, as much as I enjoy the view, I'd much rather see somebody like other than the Ice Girls wear that. I wish they'd kind of sell that to like the general public. So it's like, hey, wear this, and uh, I don't know. I think it's and it is like I always thought that the Ice Girls was a gimmick and a dumb one at that.
Yep.
I don't agree with it. I thought that this was just another let's overreact to the getting the reverse swept. Well, what can we do to distract the fan base from the fact that we got reverse swept? Boobs. All right, done.
Well, what's funny is, from Teal Tinted Glasses, Ian just says our Ice Girls are Amish compared to the league, and I totally agree with them. Like,
That's true.
If you line up the Ice Girls for the Sharks are like the most covered Ice Girls that there are, which also just goes to play into the fact that, well, then fine, just let them wear the damn tracksuits or let them wear
Be
just
done
a
with it.
regular jersey.
I mean,
There was no reason to change that unless the designer of the tracksuit was found guilty of child pornography, but he designed the tracksuit 40 years ago, and so now we're penalizing it. You get what I'm saying with that. It's stupid. There was no reason to change that. But yes, I do appreciate the fact that we haven't gone full on Dallas Stars Ice Girls.
Oh yeah, or
This-
Chicago,
This
Where
segment
they
brought to
do
you by
the,
Subway.
where they do the.
Oh, damn. All right, Chester, Gen X, one of you guys better get on that one. I didn't say that one. He said that one. Damn, dude.
At least it's not like the Blackhawks where they go to the goal to the goalie cam. When the Ice Girls are scraping the ice.
yeah. Wow.
Oh God.
No,
Hey,
there's-
who's
They're
that-
an original
who's
six.
that-
They're untouchable. They're an
Who's
original
that
six.
one? Who's the one goaltender? Wasn't it a goaltender for Dallas? There was one goaltender that, or maybe it was for Colorado, that they've got some pics of him during stoppages in play where the goaltender is just totally scoping the ice chicks.
I thought that was
Chris
Turco,
Gallo?
right? Turco,
Who?
right?
No,
Marty
it
Turco?
wasn't Turco. I want to say it was somebody from
The Humidor?
Colorado. There was no, I want to say it was somebody from Colorado. There was a Tumblr feed or something where it was just nothing but photos of this goalie just eyeballing ice chicks every single time. It was hysterical. You'd even see the ones where he's looking this way and you see him pulling one of these. He's just throwing it out. Oh man, it was too
I
funny.
remember at one of the when the Sharks were playing against the Blackhawks that one of the Blackhawks accidentally tripped the Ice Girl into the goalie cam.
But yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Ian Reed called it. He said Craig Anderson, that motherfucker. I'm telling you, man, that dude's a creeper,
there
bro.
we go. Yeah,
Dude
he's with
is a
Ottawa now.
Yeah, dude is a creeper. Final bit of business for tonight.
Spot, right?
This right here.
Oh, the Barracuda schedule. Brought to you by Barracuda.
That's our final bit of business for tonight. The Barracuda schedule came out this morning, and it's kind of interesting. We've got 13. You can see I marked them with the little highlighter there. We have 13 double headers. So and obviously the vast majority of it are Saturdays, but there is 2 Mondays and a Wednesday. And there's amazing production value.
This, I think our production value rivals that of Comcast Sportsnet.
No, you clearly haven't listened to Teal Tinted because they do have some cool little bumpers where it's and now it's time for and it's cool and it's quick and they get it in and get it off. Okay, so
But,
we've got.
that's what she said.
There you go. So we've got 10 Saturdays, 2 Mondays, and a Wednesday. The Monday and Wednesday fall between Christmas and New Year's, so I'm assuming that's why they scheduled it in that time frame. The Monday game that they have scheduled in January falls on was that Martin Luther King Day, I believe. So that's another one where it's a holiday game. So this could be pretty cool. But we're talking 1:15 starts, and I'm assuming that those are going to be on the same nights. Obviously, we haven't seen the full-blown other. No, I've got it somewhere in here. I can't reach it. But anyway, We're talking a 1:15 start and then a 7:30 Sharks game start. I put it to you now. How many times are there double headers before the Sharks go, screw this noise, this ice sucks more than normal because of the game that was played here 6 hours earlier? Eric Cura.
I give it 2 or 3, because unless they're updating their ventilation system while they're redoing locker rooms and such, yeah, that's not going to happen. And essentially, you have 4 teams in the building in a 24-hour period. I mean, it's bound to. So basically, let's figure this out. So you're going to have
away practice, right?
Right, that's what I was going to say. 9:30 morning skate for the Sharks the day of the game, then 11 a.m. or 11:30 morning skate for the away team, and then by 12:30 you have warm-ups for the Barracuda and their opponent, and you hope by 1 o'clock they're done by 4. 4 o'clock they can resurface the ice, and then you have to clean up the arena. 2 hours later, you're opening the doors for a 7:30 face-off.
2 hours later, I think it's going to be even shorter than that. You're going to open the doors at what, 6:15?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You finish the game at 4:15. Heaven forbid it goes into a shootout.
Yeah, but you got to try to kick all those people out of there. And then there's the case of there's certain people that if they're doing the doubleheader thing, you can't. I don't give a shit if they have a doubleheader ticket. You're going to have to boot everybody out to clean up the venue.
Well, that's what they're planning to do is kicking everybody out, trying to do it really quickly, and
but that's my point is where are these doubleheader people? Are they all going to hang out, or do you just send everybody down the street to San Pedro's for an hour and then okay, come back and who knows? There might be people because if you think about it, the George's has a fantastic opportunity here to do some kind of lunch dinner thing in between where you allow people that have the doubleheader tickets to come in straight from the arena after the Barracuda game, come in, maybe have a cocktail, some appetizers, or have a full-blown pregame meal. George's or whatever the arena grill is called at this point, that would be a fantastic idea and a great idea for revenue for them.
It would. The question is if they have reservations for those who are just going to the 7:30 game, they might run into some issues as well. There's a lot of logistics. I'm sure season one's going to be tough for the building as it is, but they're going to need to learn that while I love the idea of having double headers, you got to kind of figure it out. Obviously, you can't have noon face-offs to give more time for the ice to relax, and heaven forbid if you have a concert the night before too. I mean,
dear Lord!
There's something we never thought of before
that you run. Impossible.
Right. So, but nonetheless, I am looking forward to a doubleheader where I could spend the entire day in Teal Town, guys.
Yeah, no, you bring up a fantastic point because, like I said, 10 of these doubleheaders are on Saturday. A lot of concerts are on Friday, man.
Right. Gentry, I know you and I have been looking forward to doing a Barracuda Sharks doubleheader, especially since you'll be rocking an orange Barracuda jersey.
Just mute him.
You have no idea how much he's excited for that jersey to go on sale in September.
Oh God, I got a credit card just for that reason.
Let's put it this way, Gentry, let me ask you: Heritage Sharks jersey or orange Barracuda jersey?
Orange Barracuda jersey because I already seen what it looks like and I love it. Here's the thing: it's like they released everything about the Barracuda so far, and so it's like everything I've seen. I'm like, all right, I'm down for that. They've been so secretive about the Heritage jersey, and they're just like, oh no, we're gonna keep it a tightly close-knit secret, and we're gonna make it more cryptic than a J.J. Abrams production of a fucking movie. But it's like I wish they would just sit there and be like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the Heritage jersey. They should have done that in July. when like the free agency kind of hype would at its highest, because it's like, okay, hey, we got Martin Jones, we got this. By the way, here's our new jersey. Okay, now we're gonna do this, and we got Fraser McLaren back. I mean, you gotta have
awesome Subway gift, by the way.
Yes, that's right. That's our man right there. That's
yeah. Finally, I'm on the meme. I've made it in life.
He has made it. That will be the new cover photo, baby. That's the new cover photo right there, mofos.
Well, they need a new spokesperson, so there you go.
Subway, eat fresh.
And then Steve Spott got named assistant. I mean, anybody?
He's followed DeBoer around, especially in the junior ranks with Plymouth and Kitchener. It's nice. He was also the head coach for the Toronto Marlies in the AHL. However, he was an assistant coach with our team that we love to make fun of. That's not the Vancouver Canucks, the Toronto Maple Leafs last season, and we all know how well that season went. So
well, it was a matter of time, right? We knew that was coming. Now, Adam Oates, anybody's got over/under on how many days that comes down?
I can't see it happening now.
I don't think it. Yeah, I'm saying it's not happening. I don't care about this whole Hall and Oates thing. Not doing it. You know why? Because he disrespects the league by disrespecting Hurdle. But anyway, back to the schedule. This is our final thing. Barracuda's schedule. This is very cool. They open up on the 9th against Rockford. I love that. I love the fact, and this is something that I don't think we've been able to say about the Sharks in like the last 5 years. They actually start the season at home and end the season at home. I can't remember the last time we've been able to say that about the Sharks. The only thing that does bum me out, they don't play the Lake Erie Monsters, which because they have one of the coolest jerseys on the planet. But the one cool thing about this is that because it's minor league, there's a shitload of back-to-backs. You know, it's San Diego on a Wednesday, Friday. Then you see Texas on Saturday, Texas on Sunday. You've got Stockton on Sunday, Stockton the following Sunday. Charlotte, and then Charlotte, San Antonio, and San Antonio. There's a tons of back-to-backs. So it could make for some really fun rivalries. I am really, really hoping that because the Barracuda will be playing in the tank and not in that dilapidated shithole in San Francisco or in Daly City, I'm really hoping this takes off. I know the Spiders only got a season. I know the Bulls only got a season and a half, and that's sad because they were putting a decent product on the ice. They just weren't putting it in a good venue. But playing that shit outside would have been a better job than playing that inside the Cow Palace. So hopefully that gives them a step up. I'm definitely going to be there on opening night for the Barracuda. Are you guys going to on the 9th?
I'll be scouting in San Diego when they play the Gulls.
I think.
Hello?
Nice. I know me and Gentry will probably be down to go to the game in Stockton here and there, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, no, I'll definitely hook up with you guys for a game, like on a, let's see here. Yeah, they got a November 21st, a Saturday night at Stockton. I'd be down with going with you guys out to there to see them face the Heat. But I'm talking about just going to opening night because I'm going to be there for opening night on Friday, October 9th. Can't wait.
But you'll be out of town, Gent.
Yeah, I'm going to be in LA watching the season opener against the Kings. So, yeah, I won't be able to do it.
Oh, shit. Are you serious? That's the same night as the Sharks opening night?
No, it's 2 nights before.
It's on the 7th, and then the 9th is the Barracuda opener. But I'm going to be in LA doing the season opener and then another event. But, yeah, when's our first regular season game, Eric?
10th?
On our October 10th, it's the following night.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I'm talking about our 10th.
Oh gosh, I don't recall. I think it's against LA.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, I mean that's where I'm gonna be. I've never been to an away game, so I'm hoping that I don't get stabbed because we all know how douchey the LA Kings fans are. And
dude, yeah, I think you'll be fine. Dude, they're gonna be. You know, all you have to do is just walk around with a little baggie of like baking powder, they'll think it's like that you're holding
Coke.
like Mike Richards Coke, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're cool. You obviously, you're bringing Mike Richards his supply, so it's all good."
Or
Man,
I'll bring
Chester,
along a bottle, and I'll just say that it's chloroform, and underneath it will say Patrick Kane's name on it.
there you go.
Oh,
And
geez.
Chester Chivo saying the AOL connection has shown up. Uh-oh. Might be time to finish this off.
On me?
You know what? I don't know. I guess so. But you know what? This is perfect. We've gone for 2 hours. We hit all our topics. We actually tried to stay on point tonight, which was kind of nice. But this is, you know what, dude? We can't do this shit again. Dude, we're doing 2 hours in fucking August. That means after like game 1, we're going to be like, so it's 4 a.m. Where are your kids at? You know?
Oh, heaven forbid if we have a triple overtime playoff game afterwards and we're going on.
Oh,
So
my God.
I have one question on the schedule. How many games different is it than the regular AHL schedule? Because we're supposed to have the condensed one, right?
Yeah, we have 68, and how the league is going to work, it's going to work on a points per game system. So,
I thought it was by percentage. Game.
right, percentage. So it's points percentage. That's how you're getting into the playoffs. So it'll be very interesting in how that works out. Definitely a different twist when you have an uneven amount of games.
We do have breaking news on Twitter. NHL Ties has now broken the news. They were trying to schedule their world tour, and their first stop was going to be in San Jose on opening night. Now it's probably going to be pushed out until March.
Perfect.
No, that kind of sucks. I was really hoping to meet up with the Ties crew around opening night. That
If
would've
they
been
show
fantastic.
up in March around the New York Rangers game, I'm gonna be there.
And that's a doubleheader game too. So
Which one is that? What is that?
well, if it's March 19th against the Rangers,
Yeah, no. The 19th against the Rangers?
yeah, the March 19th against the Rangers.
What time is that game? Because
1 p.m.
7-ish.
so that's actually the one where San Jose is playing the early game. Oh, that's kind of
Right.
cool.
And then the Barracuda play at night. So
Okay.
I'm gonna get drunk before noon. Yes.
I was gonna say, you know what? NHL Ties, if you can make that Rangers game, me and you, we're going to the Sharks game beforehand, and then afterwards we're gonna go to ISO beers, and then we're gonna drunkenly stagger into the Barracuda game afterwards.
Aren't NHL Ties a duo? I thought it was a guy and a chick, right?
It's a woman, it's a man, and a lot of silk, if you know what I mean.
oh boy. With that, we'll wrap it up, and we'll give a quick congratulations to our friend Brodog and his beautiful wife Amanda. They got married.
Thank God that you didn't say Melvin right there. Go ahead.
About a couple weeks ago, and knowing these two are perfectly made for each other. They put me and Amy in shame in terms of adorable.
Right there. That is the definition of adorable. Yes.
No, did you see the shirt that Amanda was wearing at her A's game bachelorette party?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was hysterical.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll
awesome.
wrap it up. For AJ Strong, for Eric Landy, for Gentry Alexander. What? Who what?
I'm just saying. I just want to throw this in there. If you're new to the gig, do us a favor. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down there. We would really appreciate it. And we will continue this party on Twitter after this is over because I've had some drinks and I need to get back to Chester and Gen X in just a moment, if you know what I mean.
Yes. You can always find us on Twitter at Pucknology, at PuckGuy14, at AJ_Strong, at Eric Landy, at Chris JWS, who isn't here because the power is out, at Shalana Goldman because she's actually reporting tonight. And for an entire crew, including my fellow compadre King Shark 49, Daryl Martin, we definitely have a bunch of new stuff coming up soon on the site itself. We will go year by year history of your Sharks, along with a few other things sprinkled in during the year. So, and also special thanks to Teal Tinted Glasses Podcast for having me on the other night. I know AG is going to be on there soon. I feel for them because they're probably going to do a lot of editing when he drops an F-bomb every 2 seconds. So until then, for everybody here, we are that close. I might even go to Captain's Ice tomorrow. So until then, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it real fresh. Good night, everybody. Good night.